Good afternoon. In fact, yep, let me just set the clock. Yep, definitely. Good afternoon and welcome back to the second race of the Deep Forest World Super Touring Championship round 8 of the season. Reverse grid time. Nico Wurz on pole, but that will depend how quick Sophia Schneider is off the line. We're expecting it. We were expecting it as soon as the results came in and were made official that we don't expect Nico Wurz to be in pole that long, and we're expecting to see another rear-wheel drive display from at least one BMW, but maybe if Alpha are going to be as good as they were in race one, they could be posing a potential threat from row 5 on the grid, Swinny.
Yeah, absolutely. They've definitely been on form, and this track, as we've discussed, favours rear-wheel drive cars. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is Sophia Schneider's race to lose, but as always, I'm willing to be surprised.
Before we get off the line, your man there, Anthony Ingram, how was his morning? His delayed morning before the performance of the round up to 5th place.
Yeah, he was very happy with how the car's handling, even through the tight, twisty bits where the Volvo is possibly a little bit weaker than some of the other cars. He's managed to wrangle some good handling out of it and was able to make some moves, and he feels quietly confident about maybe getting a podium this time by, but we'll have to wait and see.
Waiting and seeing. A healthy mix of the rear and the front wheel drive cars once again, despite the reverse grid. We shall see. We shall wait and see. Foot to the floor. Alpha straight down the middle. How do you like that? Row 5, P5 by the end of turn 1, but no doubt. P4. Oh, what a morning it has been. Wittmann with an absolute flyer. Okay, settled in 5th eventually for row 5 start. Very good indeed. Schneider definitely into the lead though. Nico Wurz 2nd. Zarlo's Ford Focus in 3rd. Wickham's putting up with last place for the time being. Ayalo 4th. Hopefully ironed out some of the handling issues, as Lammers wants to put another word in after the woes of race 1. Lost pole, but gained a battle.
Yeah, of all the race starts I've seen, I think that might be one of the best I've ever seen from Sabine Wittmann. Just scythed her way through the traffic, got herself into a good position. It's only lap 1. Mildly terrifying for the rest of the field.
Exactly. Fisichella also off the line like lightning, but all of a sudden, behind Duma now in 12th. Couldn't make it up.
He must have got blocked in by traffic somewhere. It's very easy to do through the complex at Sector 2 there, Sector 1.
Here comes the hairpin. We saw some bashing before the braking area. A little bit of damage done there as Thompson down to 10th. What a traffic jam behind.
Yeah, Thompson had to hit the brakes there on corner exit, not to go into to make sure he didn't go into the back of the Volvo, and that hurt him. Down to 11th. Fisichella sneaking past him.
There we go.
Some more drag racing happening, going down into turn 1.
That's definite damage as Rydell tries to recover from Gasho's woes. What a title defense this has turned out to be. What a title challenge this has turned out to be. What's left of it? The top 3. Well, 2nd, 3rd and 4th all in a row. Lama's about to sneak into that battle as well. There he is.
Nico Wurz is doing well to hold on to 2nd, though I fear, especially with slides like that, he's going to let Schneider go and start becoming the head of a train of traffic, and he's got some much faster cars behind him.
Very likely. I think this is the last cry of the Volkswagen Golf and the factory efforts of VW AG. More focus on privateer form franchise-wide.
especially where the Golf is concerned, of course, because they're still going to campaign the Sirocco in the European Championship because they're allowed to use the Sirocco there.
There's a decent demand for the Golf despite it not being a front-running factory effort, especially amongst club-level racing outside of Super Touring.
It's because the factory support is readily available. It's part of the two-pronged attack that Volkswagen are making. Palou with a dive on Webber. Gets himself alongside. I don't think he's going to get that move stuck, though. But nice try, A for effort. Hanging tough, don't clip the grass. Good lad. Block the Honda behind you. Gather yourself and have another go at that.
Fisichella's fourth win of the season in the earlier race, the delayed morning race. Not much time between rounds this time by because of the delay. This would have been the more traditional time slot for race 2, extended a little because of the weather woes this morning.
Thompson looking a bit dangerous on the back of Palou's car there. He might be able to have a send into the hairpin.
I think you're going to send it off the cliff then. We saw some sparks hitting off the Armco there.
Yeah, they do like squeezing each other into that barrier, going through that tunnel.
And there goes Fisichella squeezing on Thompson as well with Ekstrom behind. Meanwhile, Webber mounting the sort of challenge that we saw in race 1. But it's Ingram. Is that former factory car hitting him before?
Caught a glimpse of Ingram going defensive into the hairpin. However, shock horror, Wurz has taken the lead off of Schneider. He's found some speed in the Golf.
But not for long if it's side by side. There we go once again.
Nice and easily, but can't fault Nico for trying. He's
managed to savour that.
Past champion. This is where he's used to being. This is where he wants to be. This is where he expects to be. This is where he's going to try to stay.
This is where the Scirocco wants to be, but we know why.
This is where the Scirocco was capable of being. Salo just holding station third. That's going to be a good result for him. The Ford's had some shaky results this year. Whitman just being the proverbial shark here, sitting behind everybody, waiting for her moment to strike, I feel like.
Very comfortable indeed. Comfortable championship position. We'll confirm what the points are going to look like by the end of this race, as we have done every time a session comes to an end. And the sun is beginning to set, unless that's...
I think that's just a cloud, but it's a good point nonetheless, because that's going to affect track temperature. It's going to cool the asphalt down, and that's going to muck with the handling of the cars. Some cars will like it, some cars won't. So people that were going fast in the first 4 laps will suddenly not go as fast, and vice versa. We'll have to wait and see who benefits.
So with Schneider not exactly getting away from Wurz, this is a decent line of traffic, and as you'll see, it is BMW, Volkswagen, Ford, Renault, Honda, and Alfa. Top 6 different makes, 7 if you count Ingram's Volvo, not in contention amongst the front of the field. Will it blend though?
Ingram's just sitting comfortably at the moment. He's probably just going to click off a couple of laps, look after his tyres, and then try to mount a late race charge. At least if I were him, that's what I would do. Just do what you need to do to keep Palou at bay. There goes Whitman down the inside of Lammers. Doesn't quite make it stick though.
Lammers isn't giving up this time by...
No, he knew what was going to happen at the start of race 1. That was always inevitable, but he can certainly make up for it here.
Schneider with a gap to Wurz. Salo right up the back of Wurz. Aiello not having the best of days still, despite performing well at the start. I wonder if that's going to be a bit of a capitulation.
Yeah,
Behaving the way it did in race 1 on the exit of the hairpin isn't exactly the best of looks. They haven't fixed it somehow.
No. Top 6 now, just breaking off into their own little groups, their own little clubs. Schneider pulling away from Wurz again as he has to defend from Salo. And then you've got this little trio, Aiello, Lammers, Whitman. Although Aiello now trying to catch Salo, so taking a very weird line through there again. It's not doing him any favours.
Ingram kinda did, but it was a bit more reserved, so to speak.
A little bit more controlled.
Ekstrom with the fastest lap.
That's impressive considering how far back he is and how mired in traffic he is.
Exactly.
It's promising for the Swede though, because he definitely struggled with understeer in race 1, I've been reliably informed.
So they fixed something then.
Here's hoping.
Must have done. Nico Wurz, Salo, you're top 3. And it's still... That's fascinating. We've got all of the manufacturers in order from 1st to 7th. I hasten to remember a moment like this. So savour this, even if it might be a bit processional.
Yeah, it's definitely a good advert for the closeness of the competition we have in this series.
And then the first privateer.
Duma down in 14th place. 2 points. Still points, but obviously everybody would like to be higher.
We've seen
of
this
course, as soon as the camera cuts away, Wurz takes the lead again.
There we go. Okay.
Really not letting this go, is he?
And Salo, okay, Salo with the threat as well. Front wheel drivers caught up this season.
Maybe this is the effect of the track temperature change I was talking about. It's benefiting the Ford and the Golf, certainly. And Schneider's now struggling, which would make sense. The rear-wheel drive car is not going to like the lower grip levels.
And that's why Wittmann is still struggling to get past 5th and 4th.
Can Wurz pull away here? This is where the Golf should excel. This is a fast, straight bit. We know that Golf is the quickest in a straight line. Not that it's helped it so far this season, but Wurz needs to build a gap to make sure that Schneider cannot have a lunge into the hairpin, which I think he's done. Just about. Brake rotors glowing there in all the cars.
Will Wurz be ahead at the line? That's going to be the important factor of counting as a lead in the race. Just lead it for a turn. It's almost like it didn't happen. Here comes the power of the BMW.
Yeah, Schneider's got the slipstream. She's able to catch with the hole that the Golf is punching in the air. Not enough though. Is she going to send it into turn 1? She has a look.
So Wurz counts as a lead again. Didn't have it at the start, but boy, this is a big surprise.
And there goes Aiello with the
Renault again.
Strange line. Must be a Renault-wide thing that they're both cars are allergic to apexes. Because there, look, massively wide line through that corner. And I know it's off camber and it pushes every car wide and it makes every car understeer through there, but you don't have to go that wide through it. That can't be doing you any favours. Schneider with a bit of a lunge, wants the lead back.
No, it's definitely a top 7 as Ingram almost magnetised to the back of Wittmann's car, then onto the backstretch.
Yeah, he has caught the back of the train. This is every manufacturer represented.
And all in the same shot as well. Someone's going to screen grab that, surely.
Lammers, where are you going?
behind Wittmann. Now the climb might be made. Lammers was being enough of a blocker to Wittmann there, that Wittmann, having had all the performance in the world, spare a teammate from getting his win in. Will it be a dive down the inside of Aiello?
Yeah, I don't know whether
Blocked
Lammers...
by the Ford. There's enough of an invitation. 4th place it goes.
Job done. Hook, line, sinker. Yeah, I don't know if Lammers just messed up his braking zone and went deep into the corner by himself, or whether he was helped on the back end there, but either way, caught a flash of a Honda taking up track that you shouldn't be taking up at the hairpin, and it's cost him dearly.
Ingram all the back of Lammers now, but Sartolo being caught by Wittmann. Wurz still leading. Another lap in the bag. Could we be seeing, dare I say it, Volkswagen finally getting some performance out of a car they've lost faith in?
Yeah, considering the last time that Golf won a race was the Red Bull Ring last season. So they are on quite the winless streak right now. He's managing to hold station. He's held Schneider off for a couple of laps now. Whitman with a slight look on the inside of the Ford. That was never going to work, but that might just be enough to rattle his cage a little bit.
Well, she's fascinated by the top 7 being all different cars. It is still a strand of cars all the way back to 15th. If you think about it, one mistake out of this lot, you've lost all the points you need. Wittmann down the inside of Salo for turn 1.
Here she goes. This should be a job done. And there goes Schneider for the lead.
Schneider down the inside of Wurz.
She gets that move done. Meanwhile, the second German lady gets that move done as well.
And Lammers, almost a wake-up call, trying to go around the outside of Salo through some of these awkward turns. There's another one. Another awkward move, perhaps. Round the outside, I dare you.
Yeah, points for trying. He's hanging tough.
Ingram up to 6th as Aiello's Renault starts to capitulate. But Wittmann now all over the back of the Golf. The Golf, I think, has hit a ceiling.
Either that or it's burnt its front tyres out. Because, yeah, Schneider, now that she's in front, has pulled away a good few car lengths. She's going to be off up the road, and I think her team will be telling her, run from the Alpha, because it's coming.
Oh Lord, she coming. And to just add to the confusion, Gasho with the fastest lap by nearly a second. And
once again, a car mired back in traffic somehow. The slipstream must be doing a lot for those fastest lap times right now.
Will it do the wonders for the back of Wurz's Golf for Wittmann?
She has a run. She's slipstreamed him coming out the hairpin. She can just send it now, be better on the brakes.
Sent. And we're back where we started a few weekends ago. BMW versus Ford for the win. BMW versus Alpha for the win. The jet lag is still there.
That is time, yes. I mean, this was somewhat to be expected, especially around this track, seeing two rear-wheel drive cars make their way to the front. Though, props to Nico Wurz for holding on for as long as he did and trying to be the ultimate spanner in the works. It hasn't paid off, but he can still be happy with a podium, presuming he keeps that from Salo's Ford there. Ingram, meanwhile, all over the back of Lammers. He wants 5th place off that Honda. And as we spoke about in race 1, Volvo and Honda are definitely in their own little mini fight in the championship. So that Honda is definitely priority target number 1.
Ingram and Lammers. Thompson down the inside of Aiello.
Looks like he's going to get that move done. Ekstrom's right behind them. He's had a bit of a resurgence up in the top 10 there. After doing some floundering in race 1. Is he going to...
Fisichella, however, no progress at all. Same for Webber.
Jamie Webber also down in 11th. That's where he started. So one set of rear-wheel drive cars racing for the lead. There goes Whitman.
Well.
The
This is
amount
a
of
title
times-
bid if ever there was one.
The amount of times Schneider has taken the lead and then lost it again in this race. She's going to end up more than a little frustrated, I dare say. However, looking at the positive, they started at the back of the grid, both BMWs
Yes.
this round. So coming away with a podium at race 2, that's a good consolation prize.
Could have been so much better. All Whitman had to do was just run away with it, but I guess the early weekend performance is the indicator of why it didn't happen, and the indicator of Alpha are just absolutely gunning for this championship. Slight stall at the start of the season, not the best performances at Interlagos, but recovered well enough and just comfortable enough that by the time we've got these final 6 races to go, all they have to do is just put the effort in. I mean, well, they all should really put the effort in now, especially Renault. The wake-up call was the previous round. This is them just sleeping on the job now, making mistakes, not getting everything their way. Much like they hit such a sweet spot at the start of the season that by the time they've come here, they just don't know what to do next. And it's just unfortunate that this is their trouble. They've had trouble before. This is a massive. There will be questions of this, because every time we see BMW or even Volkswagen not doing well, questions will be asked. Questions have to be asked. But the battle for the final lap is looking quite appealing indeed. Schneider and Wittmann.
Yeah, Schneider is not letting this go. She's going to fill up the rearview mirrors of Whitman, try to encourage a mistake out of her, or at the very least stay on her back bumper, and then we can slipstream down the back stretch and probably send it into the hairpin. Nick the... Oh, we can try it here, okay.
Well, maybe not. Not enough momentum. I think that was a bit too soon.
But I think that was a bit too soon as well, because Whitman's now managing to pull a gap, so the send into the hairpin possibly would have been the smarter move. I don't think he's going to be on now unless that's a very big send, and that's in danger of just being in if gap car territory, which could lead to problems.
Well, yeah, the if was definitely not there. But speaking of ifs, would Salo and Wurz be having that battle that I thought they would be having by the time... No, it looks like Wurz is still ahead there. So Golf getting on the podium, but Wittmann with the win, and that is championship lead. And it's been a while since that happened. It's been nothing but Renault leading the championship as far as drivers is concerned, but Wittmann has just made everyone know that Alpha are not messing about here. This could be a close one. Rydell with some very handy independent points there, holding up Dumas for his solitary single. Wickens across the line last, so everyone across the line before the timing ends and the feed ends. Alpha leading the Manufacturers' Championship as well. Renault now, that is effectively 36-point lost this weekend. This was a bad race for them, and BMW not having it their way as well. They're still scraping into third. I think as far as the manufacturers go, I think it's going to be Alpha running into manufacturer dominance, but with a battle between Renault and BMW for the end of it. As for the rest of the Drivers' Championship, Gasho now 15 points behind Wittmann. Fisichella's win in race 1 puts him on 217, 4 points behind Gasho, displacing Aiello down to 4th on 206. Sophia Schneider not getting in her way. She's now 5th, with Jamie Webber only 2 points behind, 190 and 188 respectively. And then for the independent team championship, DHL still flying, unlikely to be caught by the end of it, thanks to their mid-pack performances throughout the championship. The Nürburgring Euro doubleheader is next, and a well-earned break for the rest of us for the time being. They'll be in about 3 weeks' time. Good racing by the end of it, if a little weak at the start, but we know why. Weather and for our own sakes, jet lag as well. How did you rate it, 20?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a good show of dominance from Alfa Romeo, shutting out the entire round. Both cars winning both races. But you know, we had some good shots with the different, like every single manufacturer represented in the top 10 in the way they were. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Alfa Romeo can continue this late season surge towards title victory in the next 2 rounds. Next 3 rounds.
One thing we haven't been keeping record of. There's not many rookies this season. Kenny Ekstrom is going to be no doubt rookie. The Bianchi and Marco Kubica are just not close, and the fact that Kenny Ekstrom won a race anyway this season is enough of an indicator right there. So Nürburgring next, and some much needed shut eye for every single driver and competitor and commentator around here. We shall see you soon. Guten Abend.